Good morning, guys. 1 minute. We'll get ready to rock and roll. Yay. Let's do that. And we'll get you some tunes. Good to go. All right. All right. I think that's good. No, it's my head's cut off, right? So hold on. Does that work? That works, right? But now I'm too high. Maybe the seat goes up. Does the seat go up? No, it goes down. All right. All right. So we'll figure out the camera. I don't want to be here with my head cut off. So it is what it is. Okay. We'll figure this out. You know what I can do? I can fix this in 2 seconds. I know I can. Give me 1 second. I know this is your favorite part of the day right now. I know it is. Boomer with technology. Follow me for more tech tips. Hold on. I can just do this so simple. I can go so old school with this. think that kind of fixes it a little bit. Oh, hold on. Let me just see if that'll do it. That does it, right? That should fix it. Totally fixed it. Boom. All right. Now we're comfortable. We're ready to rock it. All right. Well, that's what you got. That's it. That's all we got. There we go. All right. This is it. Let's do it. These are blue light glasses. They're not prescription. They're Roca. They are extremely helpful in cutting down the strain on the eyes. No affiliation with them, but you guys always ask. The question that we really got to ask ourselves is, what did we buy yesterday or on Friday, and are we right? And this is really something that I'm really wrestling with. Hold on one second. So if we take a look at Bitcoin here, and I'll tell you why I'm looking at this, and we see how it's respecting that level, I have to be like cognizant that I'm not getting above that. And you're going to be like, well, why are we starting here? We always start with the index. And I agree, we do, but we have to be cognizant that you're not getting through. And what's really bothering me about this, I really think that when you look at this, like I would rather have an undercut, and I'm not getting an undercut. What I'm getting is I'm getting these super fast moves to the upside on the RSI. And then they're just rolling right back over. Like these are moves for ants. And the RSI zooming on it. Very different than what you had here, right? It's very different than what you had here, where something like this could have gotten you 2K. Now it's getting you what? A move for ants. It's nothing. So you really got to pay attention to this. It's a problem. Now, did we come back, retest this, and hold? And we have to really, really watch it. And I don't know if we just came all the way back up and we're going to hold this level, or, because we broke the pendant. You guys all saw that. And and I spent some time on Bitcoin last night and silver, and there's a reason for it. But like, there's a little bit of a pendant here, right? You guys see it? And now, hold on, I don't want an alert. I am an alert. Hold on. And so you'll see that pendant right there, right? So you're kind of out of that a little bit. And frankly, you should be using the bodies. Always go to the body, just like Mickey said. And when you're seeing it, like you're like, all right, well, we're still holding here. Yeah, I mean, you're holding the low of that area, but you're starting to roll over a little bit. Now, does it catch? And maybe. So I would watch this very closely today. And the other thing that I would watch real close is silver. And I think silver's out of that danger zone where we had to worry about it from a structural standpoint. From a margin standpoint, those people have been able to position themselves. But you still have this 12-22 cross, AGQ, presenting another opportunity to probably short it. And the moves this thing are insane, but we want to watch that. The other we have to watch is we really have to watch IGV. And I'll tell you what we're seeing, and I do like this. You are getting stability in IGV. Now, if we can get stability here, that's really good for the NASDAQ. And if we can get that in Bitcoin too, it's really, really good. I'm just hoping that we see some follow through, and I don't know that we're going to. I don't know that we're going to. If we take a look at some of this stuff this morning, like CRM's coming in pretty hard, and it's been coming in pretty hard. And I'm surprised it took a day, candidly, with what happened with Workday. So we definitely want to be cognizant of that. we definitely want to be cognizant of that. And I really think it's something to pay attention to. Like the CEO leaving when the stock's down like this, it's not good, like at all. So it's definitely on my radar. The other thing that I think you guys just need to be aware of is if we lose memory, which you could today, then you have a problem out there. You're definitely going to have an issue. So keep that in mind. It's definitely on my radar for sure. I do think that you have a shot at the Bitcoin holding, but we just have to be really cognizant of that. It should have had more follow through, and I'm not seeing that at all. I'm actually seeing it test the lower levels before going higher, and I think that would have been fine if it moved, but it didn't. It didn't move enough. If we look at the ES, people will be like, "Oh, we're back over the 55." Again, as I pointed out last night, if you're using that, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because you're not really trending. You haven't really been trending since back here, right? I mean, you're just not. You're lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. It's not nice. So say it. Look at it. So I don't know. You guys make me laugh with some of the comments on some of these videos. You're like, make T-shirts, make mugs with some of the sayings on them. I never really thought the sayings were that funny, but I guess they are. I don't know, maybe mugs. Who knows? Anyway, I think people would use mugs more than T-shirts. Anyway, if you look at these levels, what do you have? You have this enormous rally, and then where's our follow through? You're like, oh, we got to give it more than a day. Do I have to give it more than a day? I didn't have to give the short side more than a day before it rallied, right? So why do I have to give it more than a day? It's actually starting to bother me. It's becoming irksome that you're not having follow through. And this to me is more dangerous a time, hands down. All I did was just drop it from here so you can see it. And this to me is more dangerous a time than if you're trending. If I was going straight down, I'd be happier because at least I have a trend. When you don't have a trend, let's go back to this on a bear. Let's clean all this off. It becomes more of an issue. And now we have this new peak here. And then out of that new peak, you can see that you got right to the top of that. And there's your point of control. But if we get rid of this and we go all the way back to something like we don't have to go to here. But if we went back to like 2025 and we go to January and just see where all the players are, that's where all the players are. And it's not, I'm just going to tell you this. It's not great that this line's like up here. It shouldn't, it's just not great like that because when they flip, when it truly flips, it becomes an issue. And that's one of the reasons, like when you look at this, it's one of the reasons why that area becomes such a battleground. And you really want to watch that. So just pay attention to it. I think that they're the levels that, they're pretty much the same levels, unless you guys are like trading for pennies, that you want to pay attention to. To me, they are anyway. Let's go back out for the hourly for a second so you can see. And then we'll go to the 15. And then we're going to drop that to the 5. And then you can see it. It's a 2025 level. And you're still rejecting it. And you're still fighting it. So I'd watch that super, super close today. I mean, obviously, there's the low end of the market. You can see these low ends. I'm not really adding a lot of value there by pointing out the obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I think the point of control adds value. I think if you broke this, you have a real problem. And so far, you've been testing it and getting near it. So if you break point of control and you come down there, you probably want to watch that. And really what I want to do today more than anything, what I really want to do, hold on one second. I forgot to do that all over the damn place today. Hold on. Talking myself like a nut job. Hold on. I got to do something. I redid my entire setup. And since then, it's just been an absolute suck salad. Like I got monitors everywhere on swivels so that I can move them so that I don't have all this crap on my desk. I mean, it's good, but it's also really, really annoying because I'm used to things. You know, you get set in your way. Guys get set in their ways, especially when they get older. They totally get set in their ways. Well, you know, they get grumpy. They're like, change. So if we go and take a look at how this is going, that's from the 4 hour. You never got over it. See how tight these are? Like it's not great. When we broke it, you didn't last very long down there and you bounce back. But, you know, or is that a bounce that's going to last or? It's drawn like ass. Sorry, but it is.
U.S. pre-market movers, okay. CVS, Datadog, Immune, S&P Global, Spotify.
No, I don't have those. I got to watch some of those. I'd watch that today. It's not perfect, but that's what we have right now. That's actually going to tie right into this. We'll go through some of those names. Yep. Just looking at something real quick, guys. We'll get to some of those names that they just came out with because I think that's important. But you know, we could look at the Qs for a second, but I'm not really adding a ton from last night. Like what we're going to do, look at the same levels again. Like what's the point? You know what I mean? Like it's pointless. Like, oh, look, it's the same level we talked about. Like I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about it. So, you know, watch silver, watch IGV. Let's get into some of these names, see what's going on with these crazy kids. Spotify didn't go to zero. Shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I love Spotify. They can miss earnings. What did you miss? And then it's up what? 40 points, 50 points. Because everyone, their sister shorted. This is what happens, guys, when you're short stocks like this. And, you know, you look at the earnings and you're like, yeah, but you're already down 37%. So I'm not going to go through the quarters right now. I don't think. I don't want to. I can pull it up here real quick and do it. I really don't feel like doing it. Might not be that relevant, really. The way this guy is tormenting him is hysterical. All right, so focus. It looks like it is subscriber growth that did it. That's got you going. Let's look at these. So you have subscriber growth out there. I'd watch that today. The subscriber growth went up. Datadog, everyone's realizing that maybe software is not completely dead. Shocker. I'm absolutely shocked by that. So, you know, you're up a good, what, 20 points? Jesus. The question is, does it hold? Or do they just assume it's going to roll back over? You know, they tend to think that these things are going to roll back over, but, you know, I don't know. You know, I would definitely watch those levels there. I think that's super interesting. I think that could drive IGV. That might be good for us. I still have the IGV I told you guys I was doing. Let's go through this real quick. I want to see something else. Come on, you can do it. Yep. So subscriber growth was way better than people thought. Some people thought YouTube Music was going to overtake Spotify. Okay. I mean, I don't know who would think that, but Spotify's the best. It's not even close. Let's take a look at Ferrari. Looks like that's one that you're moving to. So I don't know if you're going to hold or not, but it's a nice move off the bottom. You just want to make sure that that actually does hold. I'm not sure that you're going to. You always want to, like, I want to buy this, but I got to wait. And it looks like if you can do it, you'd close over, Ferrari would close over that level. Kind of waiting for that to close over that and then get back involved with it. But we'll say it's like the level to buy it at. You can see it right in here too. Like that's the spot to own it. So we'll say. But some of these names, let's go take a look at this. It's so interesting. Because even if you're buying down here, you know, you wait for it to break the 55 week. Even if you're sold half here, you never have to sell the rest ever. And then here, you just really buy that back. It's such an interesting, simple, long-term strategy. I should do a video on it. I think I have one somewhere. Who'd they murder? That didn't go well at all. Coke either, right? I think the most interesting ones are going to be D-Dog because everyone's going to be short. And the question, frankly, is do they pile into the short? You want my answer? I think they do. I think they pile into the short. I think they really do. Go look at something real quick because I know you guys are going to ask about it. Stay with me 1 second. Let me see if I can. Let the mouse go. There you go. Come on, little guy. Work with me. 160 is where all the options are. So they thought this thing was going to run. One sec. $136. You got a bunch of market makers at 136. So is it puts or calls? Bum. 135. All right, so they're sold puts there, so they're fine. So that's where they're at. So you're going to want to watch 135, 136 here. How did that act there? 135, 136. So watch that area. That's where the market makers are going to start paying attention to it. 135, 136. Might be a problem there. I'd watch that. If you can get through that, you could rip, but that's an area of interest. So let me just get that done and we'll go from there. What else we got? Let's just take questions at this point. I'll try and do it as fast as I can, guys. What's up, Jacob? Grid, sort of like pave, but 60% non-US. Yeah, you know what you have to start hitting me with, dude? You have to start hitting me with a lot of non-US industrials and things like that. A lot of these things you know way better than I do, Jacob. That's one of the reasons I love doing these, because I don't know everything despite what everybody thinks. And I know that I don't know everything. But this kind of stuff, clean edge, smart gold infrastructure. Anything like this, I want to look at. Anything like that, I definitely want to look at. It is very clear that a lot of these countries are going to go internally, and this whole globalization thing's over. And I would really start paying attention to it. You know, I saw it. You can see it through this thing. I keep showing this over and over and over again on, you know, on those Sunday videos for a reason. When you look at this together, right, and then you look at that on like the monthly, and there's your 55-month moving average. You're over it for the first time. So I really think there's something to this, and I don't think it's going to change. I think if you really look at it too, like the thing that should get everybody is just go look at what these corporations are doing. They're all putting stuff out, and like Google's issuing bonds in sterling. NVIDIA's doing it in rupees. Like, you know, just follow the money. But yeah, I do stuff like that, like grid. You guys got to be watching this stuff because the game's changing big time. You know, I'm doing better. Like, you want to see something crazy? Here, Jacob. Like, okay, there's Italy versus the S&P. Like, if you really go and take a look at this, the Italy versus the S&P is breaking out. Like, Poland versus the S&P is breaking out. EWY versus the S&P. Like, why? You know, I can't remember the last time I had so much exposure, honestly, to. It actually reminds me of like 96, 97 when we were buying like the Asian Tiger funds, you know? But yeah, anything like that, bro. Anything you have like that, just throw at me. Come at me, bro. CWEN. Where's John? How come he's not first? I don't know. I don't know anything they do. And it's very rare for me to buy a company ahead of earnings that's going to lose money. But it looks great, but I would need to know way more about it. The other trade makes so much sense to me. Yay, money. Thank you. I'll make sure it goes to St. Jude's. You know, I was having this talk this morning, and my biggest concern, candidly, just being completely blunt, is we're all over the freaking place, man. You know, 8:15, get some net data at 8:30. Everybody loves the data. We're going to rally. How long? Like, for how long? You know, and you look at the bond market, and you're like, all right, well, yields are dropping. I'm just going to do it this way because it's easy. All right, what about the dollar? Because the dollar lasted how long? Like how long did the dollar last? Do you know what I mean? So you got a lot of moving parts here. And I was talking to someone last night I've been talking to for, God, probably a decade. Yeah, sorry, you got to deal with the slurping. And we were just discussing, you know, strategy, because we always talk strategy more than names. And the strategies that are working are, you know, it's hot potato, man, because it's changing so fast. And I really think that if you think like that, right? Like, so what gets you through, right? What gets you through? You tell me what gets you through. It's not earnings, because we're having great earnings. It's not expansion. So what gets you through? I think one of the largest issues that we're dealing with is that foreign money is coming out of the US. And I'm not saying it's coming out in droves, but if you think about it, we had the winning and liberation, right? We had all that winning and liberation. I never won so much in my entire life. I never felt so liberated. And of all the liberation, that was the most liberation I ever felt in my life. Anyway, was that out loud? What I think is important is I think that Europe looked at that and said, okay, we have to diversify away from this guy or this administration. Because it's not just him, it's the administration, it's the people that are telling him which way to go, right? They're in his ear one way or another, but they're leaning on him. Like any administration, whatever. And so they're like, all right, you get a pass. We'll give you, we're pulling money out, but you kind of get a pass on that with your cardboard and showing the world, how tough you are. Then you go into either give me Greenland or we're going to tariff you. And I think from then on, people were like, we have to really reduce energy reliance, exposure to the dollar, exposure to everything, because not only him, but who comes in next, right? I mean, and how bad is that? And, do we get, you didn't say, Mr., you didn't say thank you. Like, who do we get? So I think that they're diversifying away from us. And I think that presents opportunity to look overseas, to look at Italy. Go look at what Italy's doing with their tax laws. Like, they are cultivating the wealthiest people in Europe right now. When you go and look at them, go look at what Poland's doing. Poland is the #1 buyer of gold right now. It's not, to be very clear, it is not China. It is not Japan. It is not right. It's Poland. And there's a reason for that. So I don't know what breaks us out. I think that you rotate until we find a medium with the amount of outflows from what's happening globally. So what's up, Mom? Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of things. I don't know. I didn't say it. I'm worried about the election. That's all. Let's go through this and see what else I can go find here. Morning. I wish it was a distraction. D-Dog was decent. We covered that. What's up? Market's killing everyone, bro. Who's a winner and got 2 thumbs? You are. My voice is my best quality. Now you're going to be disappointed. It's all downhill from here. Winning and liberation, 26. Well, I moved the camera. I moved everything. You should see how you're comfortable with. Oh, Bueller. Anyone? With the Clarity Act. I love the names of these things. Moo. I don't know anything about this. Makes sense though. NTR MOS. The Giuseppe blow up mug. The sucks out flavor. I wonder if I could make a Matumbo mug. I'll probably have to reach out to them. I probably have to reach out to the Matumbo people. I'm just trying to see what I want to go through here, guys, because I'm running out of time. I see it. The chart's just gross to me. I love the name, but it's just gross. I think that the Schlumbergers of the world, the Baker Hughes of the world, ever since, we got the guy with the Nike tracksuit, it's pretty much just been straight up, hasn't it? Like, there's really very little to say about them. They've just been on a tear. It's just a function of, is it worth their capital or not? All right, what's exploding in my account? No, it's really hard. It's tough right now. I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not a penny stock with the little amount of time that we have left. Oh, God. Ugh. I don't know. I thought it was falling apart that one day. What do I know? I could have covered my short. This is what I was saying. I was saying this in the room today, like pre-market and post-market, it's not for the weak anymore. Like it's crazy. You're getting these moves where, it runs up and then, pre-market, I could have covered my short, or post-market, I could have covered my short here. And I'm like, I'll just come in short. It's fine. This thing's a pig. Like it was a really bad quarter. And then everyone's like, no, we really love bad quarters now. I'm like, okay. So ask me how that short went. Not well. So net, that's interesting. Oh, let's go take a look at net. Let's see what you have here. Well, you're probably moving on the D-Dog, right? So all IGV is going to move today, because you're going to move on the D-Dog. It's just similar, not exact, but similar, but that's already rejecting. You're probably better off being short D-Dog. They're probably going to take advantage of this, honestly, and short the software names. I don't think they're going to go long them. Maybe some of the bigger ones start to see inflows like Oracle. I bought more Oracle yesterday. Microsoft, those names might start to see more. Like if you want exposure, like they're the names that, you're going to get exposure with, but you're so far off, man. Did you even flip like a 15? Yeah, you finally did. Yeah, you finally did. So, I mean, you can try it, maybe if you can hold that level. What do you got for me here? I need the founder's note. Oh, you have to, okay. I'm gonna have to jump, guys. The concierge needs me to do something. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I gotta jump. But let me go through this real quick. APP I find super interesting, and I find super interesting that APP reached out to those people that are filing these things and said, we're going to sue you into oblivion if you don't stop. And they're like, okay. And then they're like, we're really, really sorry we wrote a short report. Like, talk about no conviction and, completely destroying your reputation. So, all right, I got to jump. Go ahead and jump. Make good choices.